Back to round 10 of YCS Rimini, the second round that we're playing on the second day of competition. In case you're not quite sure how to make sense of this all, we had 1,099 players starting day one. They had to play 8 rounds. 320 of them had a decent enough record with 3 losses or less.
Yep.
So all of them advanced to the second day, showed up bright and early this morning at 9 a.m. And now after the first round, we didn't do any cuts, so all of them can play 3 more rounds today.
Yep.
We're going to cut to the top 32. So this is where it counts the most. We're currently looking at 2 guys that are currently in like 17th place in the standings. So if they win 2 more times, they can sneak into the top 32. If they lose, chances are we're not going to see them again this weekend. All right. Having said that, we got Sebastian Moser, the reigning Austrian national champion, who won his national championship with Yosenju, and he is playing that very same deck again this weekend.
Yes.
And you can see this deck is actually doing well enough at least.
Yeah, it must be. It must be.
Yeah. And Sebastian Wernicke is lately has been on a roll. He's a German guy playing Nekroz this weekend together with the clowns in his deck. Mm-hmm. And he has just returned winner, one of our followers, most dedicated followers on the coverage. Shout out to you. 180 players showed up for a tournament like 3 weeks ago in Germany, and he took it all down, won against those guys. So he seems to be on a roll.
Yeah.
And trying to carry that momentum into the YCS. All right. What do you expect this game is going to be like?
So I played against Yosenju quite a lot. Mm-hmm. I had like 2 matches when in YCS Pokemon and I was playing Nekroz. It's quite frustrating. A lot of trap cards.
I was expecting something like that. It's quite frustrating. Yeah.
It's quite frustrating. There's a lot of trap cards. They're playing 15 out of their 40 cards as trap cards. Actually, they seem to be playing 41, but still, 15 trap cards.
Right.
You're just going to see a sea.
So half the time you're like, I want to do something. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Yeah. So we talked about this yesterday. How the Nekroz deck can kind of play a bit into back row, like a couple of back row maybe, some Phoenix Chains, a Mind Crush maybe, but Yosenju can play all of those things, Mind Crush, Phoenix Chain, Torrential, all this stuff, as well as the Floodgate cards, Skill Drain, Lose One Turn, I mean not Skill Drain, but Lose One Turn, Macrocosmos, and they also have a main deck Light Imprisoning Mirror, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, that is definitely interesting. So quite some.
But yeah, basically a lot of trap cards.
All right. On the other hand, the Nekroz deck, I think you know everything about that deck.
He's actually playing something quite interesting. He's playing a Photon Thrasher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's used for the rank 4 engine alongside the Perform Mages.
Mm-hmm. And he's also going with the Great Sorcerer and Exa, which is not exactly like an innovation that has just been added as of late, but we've seen that a couple of times this weekend.
Yeah.
Ever since was it the European Championship?
It's since the European Championship, people have been kind of playing that with the new Forbidden Limited list as well. Mm-hmm. People are playing it way more now. All
right, let's take you to the table where these guys have already sat down. Both of them are called Sebastian with first name, so that's going to be a little bit confusing. That's why we're mostly going to refer to them by their last names. Or I'm just going to call them by their nations the whole time. The Austrian, the German, the Austrian, the German, until people get tired of that. Mm-hmm. And we see Sebastian Wernicke on the left with Nekroz Clowns, Sebastian Moser from Austria on the right.
Okay, so another interesting card is playing Foolish Burial. That's not something I've seen, but quite obvious, I guess, to get that Performage Trick Clown in the grave, or to put Damage Juggler or the Hat Tricker in the grave. I keep getting mixed up between those two. But yeah, to be able to put those vital cards that you can use from your graveyard straight there, basically.
All right, and I'm not quite sure. Do we have a lot of fans of Yosenju? It seems like a couple of people are not exactly a fan of the deck because it can be so frustrating to play against it.
Yeah, I think it's just quite frustrating to play against. They have some really interesting cards, the different Karma monsters, but it's very straightforward, like very basic plays. But that's not always a bad thing.
Yeah. All right, there's a Vanity's Emptiness and a Bottomless Trap Hole face down on Sebastian Moser's side of the table, so he's got some good defense against a big play from Sebastian Wernicke. And speaking of Sebastian Wernicke, he's got a Cycle, Closerless, a Hat Tricker, Reinforcement, and a Damage Juggler.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think at this point there's only one deck that plays card D, which is Yosenju.
Yeah.
But that's not.
What about the burn decks?
Well, yeah.
Nobody plays burn anymore.
Well, but if there's a burn deck that's this high in the,
Everybody should know.
yeah, everyone's gonna know about it.
Okay. Too bad.
Yeah. Also, he would probably have set more cards than just those two.
Yeah, that's often the
It'd have been,
possibility.
like,
yeah.
set 4 card D.
All right.
Would have been.
Now he's going to give away what he's playing.
Yeah. Now
like,
it's
for
super
certain.
obvious.
Yeah, with a Pot of Duality revealing another card D and Kama 1, and then Yosenyu's secret move.
Yeah.
And he is picking Kama 1. So he's
Is that Kama 1? I think it's Kama
2. Sorry, it was a 2. Yeah. Well, we can always say Yosenju Kama.
Yeah. we'll get it right 100% of the time, all the time then.
Right. In a way, that reminds you a little bit of the Harpies. Just that they don't change the name. So you can play actually 9 of them instead of just 3.
Yeah.
So or you're cheating like my Valentine, and she just plays them all anyway.
Yeah. So we see the
what
exact
reason Yosenju does best.
All of them, apart from all of the Karmas, have the effect that when they're normal summoned, you can normal summon another one as soon as that effect resolves. So you have to chain them. You not chain them together, but you have to do one straight after another for that to work. So Sujik is the one on the far left on the screen here. That one has some other effects. He's got like a hand trap effect. He's like a miniature honest for the archetype. I think he makes them gain 1,000 during the damage step. So that's really useful. But he also, when he's on the field, he can target another Yosenju monster and make them gain 1,000.
Yes, all of that is perfectly correct again. As always, when you're reading these cards from memory.
Rambling. Rambling about cards.
Right, and the interesting thing is they return to the hand a little bit like spirit monsters, so to speak.
Yeah, that's actually quite funny how like perfect he's managed to execute that that little scoop up that he's got. You can really tell a Yosenju player.
And yeah, it's an interesting deck. It allows for some interesting mannerisms that some people have.
Yep.
There's a Macrocosmos, and that's a very good card because a lot of people are no longer playing the Mystical Space Typhoons in the main deck, or just one, like Sebastian Wernicke is only playing one. And
something that's majorly exciting, sorry to interrupt you there, something majorly exciting is the fact that he also has Vanity's Emptiness. Now, some might say, well, why does he want to play as Vanity's Emptiness? He's, there's nothing really going on right now. But Macrocosmos makes sure that all spell and trap cards would go to the graveyard, which, what that allows him to do, he can play Vanity's Emptiness and go on to play all the rest of his trap cards because they're going to get banished instead of sent to the graveyard, which makes Vanity's Emptiness stay on the field. Yeah. This is a big lock here.
It's a very good combo. Other decks, of course, mind that a lot, but Yosenju is really like, I'm excellent.
We just normal summon all the time, so it just doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. Speaking of normal summons, Senju of the 1,000 Hands is coming down, but
that's getting
solemn warning.
That's a great maneuver because any other move forwards from here has to be a special summon. Yeah. Which can be locked out by Vanity's Emptiness.
So Sebastian Wernicke involuntarily playing right into Sebastian Moser's cards, or to put it another way, Sebastian Moser has built his deck in a way that can apply these locks. Yeah. And some people are like, Yosenju, I'm not sure about that, but if you have so many anti-cards and you're drawing into a couple of them, and this is what happened here, you can easily command the pace of the game. And that's what's happening here. So we see a search for a Shurit.
Yeah, I'm really on the edge of my seat. I'm waiting for this first special summon to happen, and then we're going to see the German get really kind of frustrated here. Exactly.
In case you guys are wondering, every time Luke gets quiet, he's excited.
Yeah, I kind of sit here and I'm just like, I'm jittering. I'm like, oh my god, just do the move.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the guys who are putting together the budget to give us some people that are going to massage our feet or something. So we got something else to do when we're getting quiet. Yeah. All right. And there's an excellent question on the stream. Do we know the breakdown of what is left? We are working on that.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Yeah, we're going to have it as soon as possible. Our judges are hard at work. The decks, we couldn't do that without the help of our deck check team. they are putting down the breakdown for us.
So his 4 monsters randomly out of the hand, and that's game over.
Wow, yes. In a flurry, Sebastian Moser wins the first game. Didn't
Yeah.
even have to flip over Vanity's Emptiness. Not that important, in my opinion, because as an opponent, you're going to expect to see a floodgate against you, especially if you're going up against a so-called anti-deck like Yosenju. So, not much that Sebastian Wernicke gained. Well, Sebastian Moser gained by not flipping that Vanity's Emptiness.
No, if anything, he kind of, you know, it's going to be one of those things where Wernicke really knows that he's going to be playing Vanity's Emptiness. It's super obvious that he's playing Vanity's Emptiness, but just that small little extra not seeing it just kind of drops that to the back of your mind to not really think about it.
Yeah, because your mind is going to be occupied trying to figure out what was Yosenju doing again, what cards are working well against Yosenju. These things are the thoughts that are popping into your head.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't have enough focus, enough concentration, you might forget about something like, oh, wait a second, there's also Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah, you focus on what's in front of you. That's just a natural thing to do, and not revealing that emptiness when he didn't have to was kind of a good move.
All right, so Sebastian Wernicke has Fire Hand and Ice Hand in his side deck.
Yeah, it's very interesting, quite old school. I say old school, but only a couple of months ago was that the real meta.
You're not saying that in a negative way. Yeah.
No, that's a good idea. It's actually great in this matchup. The only real effective way to get rid of the Fire and Ice Hands for this Yosenju deck here is going to be using things like Macrocosmos or using the Yosenju's secret move to negate that effect.
And Macros is limited to 1?
Yeah, you're only allowed 1 Macrocosmos.
Okay,
but
so
he does have Dimensional Fissure in the
side deck.
Side deck here,
one
so we're
more
probably
copy
going to
there.
see another one of those put in.
Okay, but at the same time, Sebastian Wernicke has 2 more copies of Mystical Space Typhoon waiting in the side deck.
And Decree.
And 2 copies of Decree. That is even more important, I think.
Yes.
So he does have quite a few cards against this.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Decree, he's not playing Denko Sekka, but still. He has double Decree.
With Decree, I think that's
double Space Typhoon.
all right.
Yeah, and the very small hand engine.
So the question is, are we going to see a 2-1 from Sebastian Wernicke, who is able to turn this around, or do you think that Sebastian Moser is also going to be able to claim the second game?
I'd like to think that this is going to be a 2-1 game, whatever way that is. It's probably going to be a 2-1 game.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising. All right. And Sebastian Moser is, interestingly enough, he's always playing this deck. He was also playing it at the European Championship. Didn't go that well for him at Euros.
Yeah, maybe he just really, really likes this deck.
Yeah, I mean, when you're familiar with something, when you win your national championship with it,
yeah,
why not?
Things,
yeah, why not be like, okay, I'm going to play you for the rest of the year.
Yeah, especially considering like if you win a national championships, it's not unknown at that point that you're playing that deck, and people might not necessarily be prepared for it, but it's not something that everyone plays Yosenju. So if you're able to play that in such a unique manner that you've managed to win your national championships, that's fantastic. You can just keep playing it. So we just see Ryan limbering up here again.
Different question. Sorry for the change of pace.
Yeah, cover it.
Did you ever pick your fantasy Yu-Gi-Oh player that you think is going to win this tournament?
Oh, I never did.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Just so you guys know, I'm allowed to be partial. I'm just putting it out there. I'm thinking that Federico Soppini is going to win this weekend.
Yeah.
I said it yesterday. Even though he only drew in his feature match, Federico Soppini is going to go all the way. I got trust in him.
Right, okay. After this round, I'm going to go pick.
He's just saying that. Yeah.
We're going to get to the finals, and then I'll be like, okay, it's a 50-50 shot, Ollie. I'm going to go with Federico Zappini.
All right.
We'll see. I'm going to pick after this match. I'll make sure that's a thing. Okay, so we see Moser here getting straight into it. He's got the anti-spell fragrance.
And yeah, let's take a look at Sebastian Wernicke's hand.
Straight up on the field. And there's warning again. That's one of those moments where you think, I'm sure that card's a 1.
Yeah, because it ruins my day.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the warning so early?
Yeah, of course. Your opponent can't make a rank 4 play during that turn, and they don't get to search. So we see a flipped up Tenki. I don't know why. I don't know why he set Tenki there.
Maybe he was hoping to bait an MST, but I don't really see that happening.
Yeah. So
the question is, can the MST already be activated? And the answer is yes. You simply cannot activate...
no, I think Anti-Spellfrogan says you can't activate set cards until your opponent's next turn.
Okay.
I'll just double check that.
Yeah, good thing that I just tried to sound so confident and then I was wrong.
Yeah, you can't activate them until the next turn.
Right.
So he can't activate the MST until next turn now, which was actually really, really good.
Exactly, yeah, that's like good in several ways for Sebastian Moser. First of all, he now knows that there's a MST lying in wait.
Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't have MST'd a Tenki there. I don't know, let's have a look at the rest of his hand.
I mean, he's got a Royal Decree face down.
Oh, he does have a Royal Decree face down. I didn't see that Royal Decree. Okay, then yes, MSTing the
Suddenly
Tenki,
the play got a lot better.
Of course, yeah.
But at the same time, we got to point out he doesn't have any defense. And that Tenki is going to provide those Yosenjus with a little bit of an extra boost.
Yep.
And we got Karma 3, 2 copies of those.
Yeah, so and that's 3-2.
3-3-2 basically is the number you have to dial if you want to ring through to them.
5-1.
And then you're going to get a busy signal. And
when I said 3-2, I actually meant that's how much damage both the Karma 3s were going to do.
Okay.
But anyway, that was a great joke. I didn't even mean to do that. So I think it's 5-1 in total, if my maths is correct.
Wow, that's a big swing. Yeah. And suddenly the solemn warning that Sebastian Moser activated earlier is not that important anymore. If you can strike for 5,000 in one turn, it's okay to lose 2,000 life points at the same time. And Sebastian Moser's got a Necro Valley. So that's going to be bad for Wernicke. He really needs to choose his battles wisely, whether he wants to...
Yeah.
I mean, the MST on the Tenki doesn't really do anything anymore.
No. So let's... I'm just going to talk a little bit about Necro Valley, because it's not necessarily obvious why Necro Valley is good against Nekroz. So... You know, people can see the obvious. You can't banish.
Are you insulting our audience?
No, I'm not. I'm not insulting the audience at all. It's just, you know, Necro Valley has a lot of applications, and the one that people miss out on is usually the one where you can't use Trishula's effect, because you can't banish cards from your opponent's graveyard, which completely stops all the effect.
Right. Because Trishula needs to resolve completely. Yeah, that's also why it doesn't work if you don't have a card in hand.
Yeah, you have to banish one from each of the zones.
So Necro Valley, of course, also preventing the ritual spell cards go searching.
Yeah,
because you can banish cards. Yeah, that's also very important.
Can't use Shurit in the graveyard using Nekroz Mirror, because it's...
Yeah, so there are a couple of appliances against Nekroz.
Yeah.
All right, and so the attack's connected. Sebastian Moser has only one decision to make. Do I activate Necro Valley or not? Oh, actually, I take that back.
Yeah, so
he has another decision to make.
Yeah, he's putting that back.
The Lightning Chidori.
It goes to the bottom of his deck. Yes. Yeah. When it's special summoned, you can target one set card, and that gets put on the bottom of the deck.
And that hurts so much. The MST is gone now, of course. Yeah. I mean, and Sebastian Wernicke, by giving away that this.
Yeah, but he does have a Royal Decree. But if Lightning Chidori can stay on the field, then. He's going to be able to spin that Royal Decree back. All
right, this time Sebastian Wernicke is allowed to go searching with a Manju.
Yeah, he's going to flip up that Royal Decree and then absolutely go to town. Oh, there you
go. Yeah, yes, I am allowed to activate this card.
Yeah, he like this is that was happening there. He already thought, like, he knew. Oh, my opponent's trap card's negated. Off I go.
Yeah.
And then he just forgot.
Then Sebastian Moser is like, wait a second, this is not allowed. Oh, sorry, I forgot to flip it up.
Yeah,
wow.
He just played that really quickly.
Yeah, and he's like, this is over, but Sebastian Moser just needs another moment to
exactly
take it in.
Yeah.
Wow, that was an explosive comeback from Sebastian Wernicke. That one decree made all the difference.
Yep.
And that is the reason why the decks like Yosenju are somewhat fragile, because you only need one card that stops all of these back rows, and then suddenly...
Yeah, exactly. Fun fact, if he'd have targeted the Decree with Lightning Chidori, then his opponent would have had to choose between using Mystical Space Typhoon on Anti-Spell Fragrance or on Necro Valley, and that means...
That's a painful choice.
Yeah, that is a painful choice. And that means that he wouldn't have been able to win there because I think Wernicke was using Shrit. It was going to banish Shrit, was it? Anyway,
Yeah,
but still. Yeah.
Do you think that would have been a better play?
I think, well, we didn't know it was Decree, so it was probably the best play was to
I mean,
get the MST.
It's probably a pretty fair assumption that Sebastian Moser was thinking that could be a ritual spell face down there.
Yeah, that's possible as well. The assumptions there that it's a Decree or MST because those are the main cards that you're going to set. But obviously in a spell fragrance you're going to be setting the ritual spells as well.
Yeah, so that is an impossible choice. It would have been an amazing read. All right, but so far this match again proves to be extremely entertaining in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, so we're just seeing them shuffle up. I was actually getting really confused then. They're both using black sleeves, and I was like, why are they just like shuffling everything up together? That was super confusing.
All right, and with that...
It's late in the day.
Yeah,
when I say it's late in the day, it's like 11.
Well, for us it feels like those 2 days are actually like 1 day.
Yeah.
Yesterday when we signed off and I said, we're going to be back in 10 hours, I was feeling like, this is not cool, to be honest. No. And then this morning I was reminded of that and I thought like, okay, how did I spend the last 10 hours? And 1 hour was basically traveling to and back from the hotel.
Yeah.
Another half an hour was the best 30 minutes that we spent the last day, and that was getting gelato. Yeah. Because when you're in Italy, that's what you do. 4 hours of sleep, which is probably not going to be enough. You might be noticing that later the day, or hopefully not. And the other days was like quality time with some other judges and volunteers, which was definitely the best part. Apart from the gelato. Gelato was still number one.
Yeah. Well, actually, when I came in for the World Championships, there was a specific gelato place that we went to, and I had to find it again. They do Nutella gelato, and it's just...
No, actually, the one around the corner from the hotel is doing it as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why did you have to tell me that?
Yeah. That's how we roll here. Okay. I think it's the first time that Sebastian Wernicke is starting a game.
Yep.
And he starts fast and furious.
Oh, here's a maxi. That's dreadful. It's not necessarily terrible in this matchup because he doesn't care about his opponent having Trishula. But it's never nice to see a maxi being brought down.
Yeah, normally you want to tribute everything away with Valkyries on the first turn. So we saw the Yosenju searching, and then also another search thanks to reinforcement of the army. And there's another special summon, which means another card for Max C. And some of these decks like Yosenju that don't have their own draw engine, basically the game designers are betting on the fact that these decks don't draw a lot of cards, because then they would be way too powerful. And if you are able to suddenly resolve an effect like Maxi, and you are able to draw cards in these particular decks, they could go off really, really quickly, much quicker than usually.
Yeah.
But Valkyrie's effect was used, so only one special summon for Sebastian Wernicke.
Yeah, so that was a great use of Valkyrie's effect there to use Great Sorcerer, because when it's tributed you get to go and get a spellcaster from your deck, which is usually Unicorn, I think he added.
So usually the Maxi, that is a little bit better.
Yeah, usually
only turn into an upstart goblin without giving the opponent 1,000 life points.
Yeah, but it prevents any other like crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
No crazy exceed plays or anything like that. So let's have a look at Moser's hand here. He doesn't have anything to deal with that Valkyrus immediately.
Yeah, he does have a Solemn Warning in Necro Valley. Fiendish Chain at least. I mean, can stop it from attacking.
So he's going to not play the counter. There's no point because it's just going to bounce back to hand.
Yeah. So Not too bad, that back row, actually.
No.
We have a warning Necro Valley. Warning is not... sorry, Necro Valley is not in the back row, of course. That's in the field spell card zone. And then we got a warning, a Fiendish Chain, Mystical Space Typhoon, Vanity's Emptiness. What do you think about this popular discussion topic on Twitch that Storm should be coming back? I think this is like the right time to ask that question.
I really like Storm as a card. I think it really just keeps people in check. I really liked the dynamic of, you're only allowed to set as many cards as your opponent in case they have Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed that.
It
all
adds
the way
a
back since
psychological
2003.
element to the game.
Yeah, I've liked that all the way since 2003. But
People should just be playing X-Saber to work around that problem.
yeah,
Okay,
so Drusilla going to negate that Fiendish Chain.
at least for this turn.
Yep.
So he's going to get one attack in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there was a very quick kind of ruling that went on there. He didn't quite realize that's how that interaction was going to work.
Oh, you mean Sebastian Moser?
Yeah, Wernicke, sorry. He didn't realize that.
Fiendish Chain will be active again next turn.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's a real shame.
Are you sure about that, or
I don't know why. Like, why
is
would
that
you?
okay? Is that a guess?
Yeah, that's just a guess.
Okay,
I don't know why.
Just to confirm.
Well, yeah. So it was a guess because he kind of the motioning when he was like he kind of pointed at Fiendish Chain and then the way that the hand motions kind of went down there made me kind of think, oh.
As a so-called blind MST, it hits a breakthrough skill. That's definitely
Yeah.
not the best of targets.
Yeah, well, hitting the other one would have actually been really profitable.
Yeah, the preparation of rights. Yeah.
Which is pretty useless right now because Necro Valley is on the field. So, and prep doesn't target the card in the graveyard. But I don't think it matters. It's still, you can't move cards from the graveyard. So you'd only be able to go and get a card from your deck with preparation of rights there.
Is he, because he's pointing to Valkyros, is he using the effect?
I think so.
Is that possible? Fiendish Chain?
Yeah.
Am I missing something? So the question is, am I missing something? Because I thought that
Yeah, I think that
the following turn,
yeah,
Fiendish Chain is going to be active again.
yeah, Fiendish Chain still targets and equips to it, but it's just the effects being negated.
There's the handshake. So the question is, did this get caught by the judges or didn't they? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, no longer affected as it is negated is what our judge is telling me. Okay. So was that still the same turn?
Maybe,
I think that was in main phase 2 on the same turn, right?
but be attacked.
No, yeah, so it wasn't. All right, so there's some confusion here, at least on my end. But I've been known to mix up the rules here and there. Well, Sebastian Wernicke coming back as... Well, we didn't quite predict that it's going to be a 2-1. You
Yeah.
predicted a 2-1.
Yeah.
That either way, it's going to be a 2-1.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily say who was going to win, but I did believe that they would both win, like get a game there.
All right.
So
So,
that was quite interesting. I mean, that was quite dynamic for a Yosenju game. Usually we see just the floodgate cards, etc., and then just repeated attacking from the Yosenju. But that was quite an interesting game.
yeah, and you could tell that while the deck is very powerful, which we saw in the first game, but in a way that was also thanks to all of these negating cards, all these so-called floodgates
Yeah.
cards. Well, Solemn Warning, not exactly a floodgate, but a card like that.
Yeah.
Vanity's Emptiness. He didn't even have to flip it because of Macrocosmos. That bought him a lot of time. These cards are giving you an opening, and this opening the Yosenju deck could use, obviously, and make the most of it.
Yeah.
And then games 2 and 3, it was this time Sebastian Wernicke's sideboard, or side deck, combating all of these anti-cards that Sebastian Moser was playing.
Yeah.
Second game can be summed up with Royal Decree.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the problem with playing a deck with such high trap count. You get a bit disadvantaged by cards like Trapstone and Royal Decree. Obviously, Royal Decree is used quite a lot nowadays. Trapstone's kind of lost its focus. But
Yeah. And what do you think? Is Yosenju still a contender, or after this game, do you feel like I'm not sure if I would bring this to a tournament like this?
you know, I personally I wouldn't play Yosenju. It just doesn't really fit how I don't like to play like that. It's not my play style.
What is your play style? Lots of options.
Yeah, a lot of options. So like the Nekroz deck's kind of narrowed down a bit now in the options, but you know,
Yeah.
a lot of options that can lead to the same consistent plays.
All right.
Whereas like, yeah, it's one of those situations like Nekroz might be able to make the same power plays, but you know, they kind of they can go around the houses in many ways that come back.
Exactly. There are many ways that
Yeah.
lead to that one goal. So, what is your favorite deck that you have seen this weekend?
Cosmos, no question.
Yeah, me too, to be honest.
I was playing it before, but like before the tournament this weekend. It was the one deck out of the new decks out of the core set that I really kind of took a liking to.
It's also really easy to acquire, to be honest. We saw that because Peter Gross on Friday, he was still looking for a lot of cards. And then his friends, you actually said that. You said you went to your friends, you said, hey, I want to play Cosmos, and they just showed you.
Everyone just got their binders out and just started handing me Cosmo cards.
Because
like,
many of them are like rares and...
like, no, I've had them in my pocket, but I think I must have
yeah,
left them in the hotel.
all of a sudden you have a complete deck because you don't need that many cards.
Yeah, there's a lot of rares,
So
just a few ultra rares.
That is definitely an advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that was round 10, the second of the 3 Swiss rounds that we're playing today. After just one more round, we will know who will go to the top 32, who is still going to be in competition for the title of a YCS champion. Sebastian Wernicke is definitely one of those, could be one of those guys if he wins yet another round. We're going to talk to him in just a second. We're just going to take a very short break, so don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.